They say the city floats, wooden piles sunk deep into marshy ground, an infrastructure of faith, that water could be ordered, that chaos could be channeled into canals. Amsterdam was never built on stone alone. It was built on risk, on trade winds, on ships leaning heavy with spice and silk, on ledgers and maps inked with possibility. The open market was its heartbeat. Commerce not only of goods, but of thought. Ideas traded like tulips in bloom, each color a new way of seeing. Here, freedom was not a luxury. It was currency. Painters, philosophers, merchants, all found room in the weave of these streets. Ideas crossed borders the way bridges crossed canals, archways of connection, routes of reinvention. Amsterdam learned that infrastructure is not only wood and water, brick and stone. It is conversation. It is exchange. It is building bridges between people, as carefully as between shores. The city still floats, not on piles, not on cobblestones, but on the endless commerce of voices, the market of minds, that refuses to close. And so, Bentley YII2025 begins, and together we build infrastructure, with software, with open minds, with flowing ideas, on historic land, laden with the foundation of the past, but with our eyes firmly set on building the future. Welcome.
Please welcome Bentley Systems Senior Vice President, Regional Executive, EMEA, Nathan Marsh.
Good morning and welcome to the 2025 Year in Infrastructure here in the extraordinary city of Amsterdam. To those of you who are joining us virtually from around the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Amsterdam is a city that, like much of the infrastructure we will celebrate the next 2 days, has evolved through innovation, resilience, and vision. And this year, Amsterdam marks its 750th anniversary, a milestone that speaks to enduring creativity and determination. For centuries, this city has stood at the crossroads of trade, culture, and ideas. A city that welcomes new thinking, brings tradition with change, and continually redefines what is possible. This story resonates with all of us in this room. Whether we're designing a roadway or planning a global rail network, we are all part of the same continuum. Using vision, collaboration, and innovation to design, engineer, and then operate on how people live and connect. And Amsterdam offers the perfect backdrop for these conversations. Walking through its streets, you will see how history and innovation coexist. The historic canals, just steps away from this stunning Okura Hotel, help connect modern architecture, creative hubs, and thriving neighborhoods. This balance, reflecting the past, helps us build boldly for the future. And it's at the heart of the challenges that we face in our sector today. So, we are halfway through our most digital decade yet. And around the world, communities are grappling with rapid population growth, geopolitical friction, resource scarcity, climate pressures, growing volumes of data, and AI-enabled, fast-changing technology. By 2030, nearly 60% of the world's population will live in urban areas. That is billions of our fellow citizens depending on infrastructure that in many cases is already under strain. Roads are congested, power grids are stretched, water systems are stressed, both by demand and by climate challenges. And yet, if Amsterdam's 750-year history has taught us anything, it's that communities can adapt and thrive when they lead on ingenuity and determination. The same spirit is alive in infrastructure today in the projects that you manage as exists here. Whether it's building more resilient energy networks, designing sustainable transportation, or rethinking the way digital technology supports our cities, you are writing the next chapter of human progress, supported by smart software tools and the judicious use of AI and optimized processes. That's what the urban infrastructure is all about. It's not just about looking at technology for technology's sake. It's about asking, how do we use this innovation to solve the real and urgent challenges facing our people and our planet? How do we ensure that the next generation doesn't just survive, but thrives? And finally, this week is about presentations and panels and inspiring real-life projects we are all delivering. It's also about the conversations and the connections you will make over tea or coffee. You'll have brilliant ideas that you'll carry home with you to your projects. And some of those will spark ideas that might have an impact on a larger portfolio and enable major change across regions, sectors, or your asset suite. Each one of these has the potential to grow into something that shapes our future for the better. Now look around you. In this room, full of diverse people from across the world, representing every corner of industry, transportation, energy, water, cities, and more. Each of you brings a unique perspective and a set of experiences that no one else has. We are all creating value from our work, and that value is economic, technical, and environmental. So when you share these perspectives, when you learn from each other, you're not just exchanging ideas. You're building the foundation for sustained value creation throughout our industry, accelerated by well-organized data and scalable and secure software. So as we begin this year in infrastructure, lean in fully, listen with curiosity, share your experiences generously, challenge prevailing assumptions, and like Amsterdam, embrace the spirit of creativity and resilience that has carried this city forward for decades. Because at the end of the day, that's what infrastructure is all about. It's not just about concrete, steel, or even well-organized data. It's about how we add value to people's lives. It's about how we live, connect, and reimagine what's possible. And when we get this right, the work we do will leave a tangible legacy for the next generation to be proud of. That's why we're here. This week is your opportunity to learn from people and projects pushing the boundaries forward, from visionary planners and engineers to innovators applying AI using that well-organized data in sustainable design, engineering, and construction in ways that we could only imagine a decade ago. Because the truth is, the year in infrastructure is far more than a conference. It's a place we make connections, challenge those assumptions, and be inspired by what's possible. Every year, people leave these events with an idea they didn't have when they walked in. Maybe a piece of technology they've discovered. Other times, it's a conversation with one of your peers from across the world, understanding how they've solved a problem that you have. And these sparks turn into real projects. Because the real measure of the year in infrastructure isn't just what happens over the next 2 days. It's what happens next that counts. On that note, I'm delighted to now kick off 2025 Year in Infrastructure. Thank you.
What happens tomorrow starts with today. From the minute you wake up until the moment you fall asleep, you make hundreds of decisions that shape your future. You also make critical decisions that will shape the future of infrastructure. In a sector where challenges are complex and change is constant, technology is only an enabler. You are the one in control, and the big decisions still need to be made. Decisions like, how will you use insights from the natural environment to improve the built? How will you better connect people and data across the life cycle? How will you use AI to improve your productivity and project outcomes? The answers are all within reach because they start with you. Are you ready to act with clarity, foresight, and speed? Are you ready to shape the future of infrastructure?
Please welcome Bentley Systems Chief Executive Officer, Nicholas Cumins.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Amsterdam, a city that truly embodies the spirit of infrastructure innovation. We've come together to explore how we shape the future of infrastructure. And there is no better setting than this one, built on centuries of engineering ingenuity. As you walk the streets, you can see how every canal and polder is a reminder of that legacy. The Netherlands literally created new land from the sea. About a quarter of this country lies below sea level, yet it thrives, protected by dikes and pumps. Each generation built on the last. And their lessons guide us as we tackle our own challenges today. And the challenges we face today are daunting. Year in Infrastructure is our year in review. And over the past year, climate change has continued to place extraordinary stress on infrastructure around the world. From catastrophic flooding to record-breaking heat waves, testing resilience in ways that are impossible to ignore. At the same time, the rapid adoption of AI is driving a global build-out of data centers. This surge is adding enormous electricity demand and putting even more pressure on already strained infrastructure systems. Whether it's to address climate change, to ensure energy supply, or more broadly, to support economic and population growth, our world is facing unprecedented demand for better, more resilient infrastructure. But the greatest challenge isn't just the scale of what needs to be delivered, it's the capacity to deliver it. How do we design, build, or repurpose fast enough to support this growing demand? The reality is there simply aren't enough engineers in the world to do all the work that needs to be done. Amsterdam's legacy reminds us that no challenge is too great. Just as the Dutch once turned water into land, we too can innovate to expand capacity and meet rising demand. That means making the engineers we do have more productive, empowering them with better tools, smarter workflows, and more connected data. And that's what this conference and the Going Digital Awards are all about. Recognizes those who turn bold ideas into tangible results. Our finalists this year once again showcase how they achieve meaningful productivity gains by leveraging digital technology. Here are just a few examples from around the world. In Australia, a freeway upgrade project achieved a 20% reduction in design effort through model-based workflows that also shortened delivery by nearly 2 months. In China, a pump storage power station achieved a 20% productivity gains by using standardized, reusable components that accelerated design and improved consistency. In the United States, a new bridge across the Mississippi River realized a 20% cost reduction using a digital twin from design through construction, with plans to use it for future inspections. And in France, a major canal project produced a 40% increase through digital collaboration across engineering disciplines. Freeways, stations, tunnels, canals, very different projects, but a common thread unites them. Digital methods are turning into measurable gains everywhere. Fewer errors, safer execution, faster delivery, and ultimately, better outcomes. Yet even with these substantial productivity improvements, often in the range of 15 to 25% or more, it's still not enough to meet the scale and urgency of global infrastructure demands. These gains come from the most advanced infrastructure projects in their use of digital technology, or Going Digital Award finalists. And they don't reflect the industry as a whole. But they do show what's possible. That's why we celebrate these finalists, not just to recognize their achievements, but to encourage others to follow their lead, to leverage existing software, embrace smarter workflows, and connect data more effectively to drive greater productivity. If we could scale these improvements across all infrastructure projects, we could make significant progress towards bridging the widening gap between what the world demands and what we're currently able to deliver. But to truly close that gap, we need a step change in productivity. And that step change is beginning to take shape. It's AI. This year, about 1/3 of award submissions and nearly half of the finalists incorporated some form of artificial intelligence. That's a sharp increase from just a year or two ago. And the results point to something much larger than simple efficiency gains. What's striking is how diverse these AI applications are. AI is emerging across design, construction, and operations, touching every phase of the infrastructure lifecycle. And the outcomes go well beyond time savings. They're showing us a better ways of working. Infrastructure professionals are using AI not just to automate, but to optimize decisions and outcomes in ways we couldn't achieve before. Let's start with 2 examples from this year's submissions. They illustrate how AI is beginning to transform every phase of infrastructure. In Turkey, engineers use AI to compress a 5-year development timeline into just 1, cutting costs by more than 75%. They evaluated over 10 million scenarios in days instead of years, setting a new benchmark for speed and accuracy in geothermal energy development. And in China, an engineering firm combined AI algorithms with drone-based surveys, real-time sensors, and engineering data to build an intelligent warning system for flood-prone substations, boosting operational efficiency by over 60%. Each of these examples shows AI tackling work that was previously too complex, inefficient, or even impossible to scale. And these gains of 60 to 80% are just the beginning. The true power of AI in infrastructure is still largely untapped. Design simulation that will never be attempted because they will take too long can now be run thousands of times to find optimal solutions. Inspections that were dangerous or tedious can be automated and made continuous. Now, I want to emphasize that this AI wave in our industry is just beginning. We're still in the early days. Not every project that adopts AI is seeing transformative results yet. Many teams are experimenting, learning, and iterating, and that's exactly how progress happens. But the signal from this year's submissions is strong. AI is transforming infrastructure. The projects pushing the envelope, the ones compressing schedules by 80% or analyzing thousands of design options that were never feasible before, all rely on AI to drive that leap. This is a step change that can truly help close the capacity gap we discussed. However, it raises an important question. As we lean on AI for more critical decisions, how do we ensure those decisions are trustworthy? Engineers work in a creative profession, but one where precision is non-negotiable and consequences are real. That's why, at least for the foreseeable future, AI in infrastructure will remain a collaborative process with a human in the loop. And to make AI recommendations truly useful, it must be grounded in the right context. So the real question becomes, what defines that context for infrastructure AI? Now, obviously, all AI systems require context to be effective. Without understanding the conditions and drivers behind a prompt, even the most advanced models risk producing outputs that miss the mark. But infrastructure AI requires a very specific kind of context, rooted in the real world of engineering and infrastructure. We believe there are several crucial layers of context that form the foundation of trustworthy AI in our domain. Let me walk through a few of these layers to show how grounding AI in infrastructure context makes its recommendations reliable. First, AI needs to understand our intent. What are we trying to achieve? And the constraints we operate under. In design and construction, this means understanding the desired outcome and performance, along with limitations such as budget, schedule, safety, and carbon impact. If we ask AI to help lay out a new transit route or optimize a bridge design, AI needs to be guided by what we're trying to achieve and what rules it must respect. For example, in the geothermal project mentioned earlier, the team's intent was to maximize sustainable energy output. And they had clear constraints to maintain reservoir health and stay within cost targets. With that context, the AI-driven system was able to run 3,000 simulations and find an optimal solution that met the project goals. The second pillar is context about the world our infrastructure lives in, both the built environment, existing assets, utilities, the natural environment, terrain, water climate, as it is today and as it could be in the future. To make appropriate recommendations, AI must be aware of what's on the ground now and what environmental conditions are coming. And that's exactly what's happening in Ithaca, New York, where digital twins are providing environmental context needed for carbon-neutral planning. By combining drone imagery, sensor data, and machine learning, the Energy Atlas project, we constructed high-fidelity 3D models of over 5,000 buildings, capturing critical details such as windows-to-wall ratio, facade materials, that then leverage AI to simulate energy consumption, identify the best retrofit strategies to reduce operational carbon by up to 95%. But context in infrastructure AI isn't complete if it only considers what's above ground. The number one cause of construction delays and cost overruns is often a misunderstanding of subsurface conditions. Decisions made without full awareness of what lies beneath. To make that truly informed recommendations, AI must be grounded in the geological realities of each site. This means integrating subsurface data into decision-making, not as a later step, but as a foundational layer of context. Our sequence software plays a critical role in this by modeling and analyzing that subsurface and making that data accessible to both infrastructure professionals and AI systems. In Saudi Arabia, engineers use AI to calibrate subsurface models in Plaxis from Sequent with satellite and site data, helping them better understand ground behavior and optimize foundation design for a warehouse rehabilitation project. The result? A 70% reduction in micropower usage, significant cost and carbon savings, and stronger confidence in long-term performance, even in challenging ground conditions. The third layer is about learning from experience, an organization's collective memory. While infrastructure projects are unique, that doesn't mean each one should start from a blank screen. Over time, organizations build a rich archive of project data, design decisions, and performance outcomes. AI can unlock tremendous value by tapping into this institutional knowledge, but only if we make that data accessible and intelligible. Engineering firms are layering AI on top of their engineering knowledge bases, By training AI assistants on decades of product documents, standards, and expert insights, engineers can ask questions in natural language, such as, how did we design the foundation for a similar bridge last year? And receive relevant information in seconds. It's like having your most experienced engineer available to every junior team member on demand. Now, of course, accessing this data is easier said than done. Much of it remains trapped in proprietary formats and siloed systems, making it difficult to extract insights at scale. For AI to truly learn from past project data, openness is essential. We must not only unlock access, but also organize the data in consistent schemas so AI can interpret and apply it across projects. That's exactly what the Bentley Infrastructure Cloud enables. It frees infrastructure data from closed formats, aligns it to open schemas, and prepares it for AI to deliver better outcomes across the entire lifecycle. To be clear, your project data remains your data always. As we committed 2 years ago, only you decide if and when you want to use your data to train AI. Our role is to help you unlock the full potential of your data. As an industry, embracing openness to harness historical product data may be one of the highest leverage steps we can take in the coming years. It allows each new project to build on the last, turning an isolated effort into the next chapter of a continuous learning cycle. But that alone is not enough. For AI to be effective, it must also understand how designs perform once built. By maintaining a digital thread, from design through construction to operations, and feeding performance data back into the system, we are evolving Bentley Infrastructure Cloud to support this full cycle integration, enabling AI to make performance-based design recommendations. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, AI must operate within the bounds of engineering logic and physical principles, what we call engineering context. This means recommendations generated by AI must align with established engineering practices and be validated by design codes and sound judgment. Whether it's proposing a foundation design for a high-rise or recommending reinforcement details for a bridge deck, AI must respect engineering constraints, physical laws, safety standards, and constructability requirements. Left unchecked, a purely data-driven AI might propose solutions that appear optimal in a simulation, but are unsafe in the real world. Several submissions to this year's Golden Digital Awards demonstrate how engineering context can be successfully embedded into AI-driven workflows. In Brazil, a leak detection system powered by AI was paired with Bentley's OpenFlows. Every AI recommendation was checked against hydraulic models to make sure it was accurate. This smart approach cut water outage complaints by a third and recovered more than 175,000 cubic meters of water each month. In California, an engineering firm used iTwin Capture to create precise 3D models of existing power structures for a major utility, and used AI to automatically check each structure with Bentley's PLS CAD for code compliance, structural integrity, and real-world loading condition. This approach cut modeling time by up to 75% and helped avoid unnecessary pole replacement. And in China, engineers use AI with Bentley's SAC software to evaluate design alternatives for a 1 gigawatt offshore wind farm. Each design was checked automatically against structural safety standards and real-world conditions, shortening design cycles by 50% and helping deliver the wind farm in just 8 months, even in typhoon-prone waters. Across all these examples, it's striking to see how Bentley's engineering applications have been used to provide engineering context to AI, ensuring its recommendations are grounded in sound engineering logic and physical principles. In fact, reviewing this year's Going Digital Awards submissions, we were impressed by the sheer number and diversity of use cases for which engineers have used our applications to interact with their AI agents. What's remarkable is that these applications weren't designed to interact with AI. They were developed for individual engineers. Yet our users have found ways to connect them with AI, whether through APIs or custom integration, to unlock entirely new levels of productivity. Since our founding in 1984, Bentley has been focused on helping infrastructure professionals and their organizations become more productive through our software. So we certainly welcome the creative ways our users are already combining our applications with AI. And we believe this is just the beginning. And to support and accelerate this momentum, we're launching a co-innovation initiative for infrastructure AI, inviting our users to partner more closely with us to create the next generation of AI-enhanced workflows. Through this initiative, we will prioritize which APIs to evolve and how to better support AI use cases. We will also explore new commercial models that reflect the evolving balance between AI-driven and human-driven work to deliver better infrastructure outcomes. This is a pivotal moment. The opportunity to shape the future of infrastructure is in front of us, and we're incredibly excited to collaborate with you in this new way. So, we've been talking about where the industry is headed. Now, let's turn to what we at Bentley have been doing for the past 1 year. We have 4 demonstrations lined up, each showing how our technology is being applied across the infrastructure lifecycle. From capturing real-world context to enabling better decisions for individual practitioners to teams and organizations based on a trusted foundation of infrastructure data. I'll invite all product leaders to walk us through them, and Patrick will start us off. Now, we just talked about context for AI, but now we're going to talk about context for the infrastructure professional themselves. And this starts with the geospatial context, using planet Earth as our canvas. Patrick is going to demonstrate how we can digitally capture and model the physical world around our project, bringing the existing built and natural environment into our workflows as rich digital context. Patrick, over to you.
Thank you, Nicholas. Hey, folks. It's great to be back with you here at YII. So our vision for infrastructure engineering is based on openness and infrastructure and geospatial context. And with our integration of Cesium, we've made tremendous progress in the past year, and I'm excited to share it all with you now. Let's build from first principles, starting with platform. These are reusable building blocks that we use to build our products and that we make available to the community for you to develop yours, improving the overall efficiency for our industry and enabling an ecosystem of the next generation of geospatial and infrastructure engineering applications. And Cesium has given us a jump start. It's widely used by the 3D geospatial community, including integrations with Unreal Engine, NVIDIA Omniverse, and Unity. Cesium has literally reached billions of people, such as the stadium fly-throughs by Boost Graphics used with the Premier League. So the football fans out there may have seen this on TV during the matches. The open source Cesium runtimes have been downloaded over 10 million times, and the Cesium Ion cloud services reach over 1 million unique devices each month. So using Cesium as the core, we're building the open platform for the natural and built environment. We're exposing foundational technology from across Bentley's portfolio via open APIs in Cesium, including reality capture, iTwins, and IoT. So we've already integrated iTwin capture reality services into Cesium, including photos to 3D mesh reconstruction, photos to Gaussian splats, wait till you see that, and AI feature detectors on point clouds. So before we check these out, I have to tell you the story of how I met Bentley Systems. It was 10 years ago, and the iTwin Capture team, based in France and led by some of the most prominent computer vision researchers in our field, they came across the open source Cesium.js project. they noticed that one of the locations used Exton, Pennsylvania in the code example. Does anyone know what company is based in Exton? All right, I see some folks, yeah. So Bentley Systems, of course. But so is the aerospace company AGI, where we started Cesium. It turned out we were just 15 minutes down the road, and it took our friends from across the ocean to bring us together, which is why it's so fun to now share with you how we've integrated our technology. Let's take a look. So we're going to start off with mesh reconstruction from photos. So here's cloud-native photos to 3D mesh reconstruction, now available in Cesium Ion and powered by iTwin Capture. Here we're showing simple web interface. There's also a REST API for software developers. The user uploads their photos with embedded geolocation. For example, these photos may have come from a camera on a drone or on a phone. And the iTwin Capture backend is used to create efficient and accurate 3D tiles. The process is GPU accelerated for performance to take advantage of the massive parallelism in the computations. And then using the 3D tiles open standard enables streaming the mesh into many runtimes, such as Cesium.js, shown here. So folks, I think the community views me as a geospatial person. I actually consider myself a computer graphics person. And Cesium was developed with this idea of applying computer graphics solutions to geospatial challenges. And every few years, the graphics research community comes up with an innovation that just can't be ignored. And that latest research that's essential to us is Gaussian splats. Let's fly back over to Amsterdam, and we'll take a look. And I'm really loving these fly-throughs here. The fly-throughs, they're really empowered by an ecosystem. This is a combination of Unreal Engine for the rendering, the Google plugin to stream the 3D tiles, and then the Google photorealistic 3D tiles for the content. So an ecosystem bringing together best in class for that experience. So back to Gaussian splats. Gaussian splats, we reconstruct a 3D scene from photos, providing superior visual quality compared to traditional photogrammetry, especially for thin objects like power lines and antennas, as well as for refractive and reflective materials such as glass. Think of Gaussian splats as a point cloud, where each point is expanded and then blurred with the surrounding points to create a smooth photorealistic surface. Hence the name splat. Each point is splatted. Cesium now supports creating Gaussian splats from photos using the same workflow as the mesh reconstruction. You just select the Gaussian splat option. The results can be visualized in Cesium.js and then combined with other content, such as the Google photorealistic 3D tiles. So for the folks who know me, here comes my favorite part. True to our commitment to openness, we're working with the open standards community, including the Kronos Group and the Open Geospatial Consortium, to bring Gaussian splats to the GLTF and 3D tiles open standards. We're collaborating with Esri, Niantic Spatial, among others, to ensure an interoperable, efficient, and accurate open standard for Gaussian splats. And I have to say, the interest level, it's among the highest I've ever seen. We hosted the inaugural Cesium Developer Conference back in June, and we announced Gaussian splats, and literally that day at the conference, community members started using them. All right, folks, so far we've looked at creating 3D tiles using photogrammetry and Gaussian splats. So let's move on. So I mentioned I'm a graphics person, but I also recognize that visualization, it's just the beginning. Once we can see a scanned environment, we want to analyze it and glean real-world insights. And for this, we've added AI feature detectors to Cesium, powered by iTwin Capture. These are fully automated, cloud-native detectors that can identify objects, regions of interest, and defects in point clouds. For example, in a city scene, you might identify buildings, foliage, or wood. All right, we're heading back over to the data center, and we're going to take a look, folks. So for the folks who are joining us remote right now on the live stream, I have to say this screen is amazing. In these fly views, I feel like I should have a cape. All right, folks, so let's check out AI feature detection. So we're going to see the Cesium web interface in just a moment. And then we have a point cloud of a data center. We click Analyze, and we see a list of pre-trained detectors that we can select from. We're going to select bare ground so that we identify the ground from the rest of the model in the point cloud. This computation is automated in the cloud, no pun intended, with no user interaction required. The computed per point metadata is then available in the 3D tile set for additional computations such as querying, filtering, and styling. And iTwin Capture also has the ability for you to train your own models to create custom detectors by annotating images or point clouds. We're working to expose this in Cesium. The example shown here is a custom detector for objects outside of the data center to identify objects such as beams and pipes. And then whether you're using pre-trained models or you're training your own models for detectors, we're committed to the responsible use of AI. Your data remains your data, and you control who has access to it. All right, folks, let's shift gears. Let's talk about products. So Cesium is providing geospatial across our product portfolio, empowering users to design, build, and operate infrastructure assets in a more intuitive environment with the surrounding real-world geospatial context. Here we see MicroStation 2025, which was just released in July with support for the open standard 3D tiles. We're streaming in Google photorealistic 3D tiles for global context, allowing engineers to design alongside the same data used in Google Earth. In this example, we also have a higher resolution inset of a reality capture of a data center. And then we'll also see the design model for that data center in that context. Here's a bridge project in Florida. At first, we just saw the design model, and then we turned on Google Photorealistic 3D tiles. You immediately see the value of that surrounding geospatial context. So folks, we've seen a lot of cool capabilities rolling out. Let's talk about what's next for platform. So we're bringing the iTwin digital twin services to Cesium. So our open platform for Cesium will comprehensively span geospatial, reality data, and infrastructure. The community will have the same building blocks available to you that we have to build our product portfolio, including broad support for design models to create iTwins from code files and from popular applications such as MicroStation and Revit. Rich metadata access, so you can query those design models for insights. Design history to track progress of changes over time and to compare alternative designs. And then widely used computations, such as clash detection and carbon analysis. And we're designing the simplest and most accessible APIs possible. And we believe that we're building the open platform for the future of infrastructure engineering. So to do this, we have to chart the course together in the most open possible way. We published our roadmap on the Cesium blog. We're discussing it out in the open on the community forum and on social media. And we very much invite you to join the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. It's just exciting to see how far we've come since the acquisition of Cesium. Just a year ago, now complementing it with iTwin capabilities like reality modeling and integrating Cesium directly into our applications such as MicroStation. Together, these innovations let engineers design in real-world context, bringing either their own reality data or Google's photorealistic 3D tiles into a living model of the built and natural environment. So now let's turn to how that same infrastructure context is connected and shared across teams and organizations, improving collaboration and decision-making through site project delivery. To show how this has come to life, please welcome our Chief Technology Officer, Julien.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for all of you that are joining us online. I'm super excited to be here. our teams have been working very hard over the last year to introduce a lot of new product advancements. And I get to do a lot of cool demos this year, and I love to do that. But before I get started with the demos, I'd like to lay some important foundation here, right? Because over the last few years, we have explained how ProjectWise has empowered project delivery, and also AssetWise has supported asset operations. It is clear that the life cycle of infrastructure is not a discontinued sequence of phases, but a continuous cycle. And our strategy has been all along to bring those capabilities together under one common umbrella, Bentley Infrastructure Cloud. Now, under this umbrella, ProjectWise and AssetWise continue to serve their respective users, but they share a critical need, a common data foundation. This foundational layer must be purpose-built to connect infrastructure data and to enable the seamless collaboration of stakeholders, disciplines, and tools across the entire life cycle of infrastructure projects and assets. Today, I'm excited to announce that we're doing exactly that with the introduction of Bentley Infrastructure Cloud Connect. It is the foundational layer of Bentley Infrastructure Cloud and is designed to bring the data together as well as the people across the infrastructure lifecycle. Connect provides an open, scalable, and secure environment to the engineering firms, the construction companies, the asset owners and operators to bring the infrastructure data together and to manage, store, and share the files that are related to it. Connect leverages our iTwin open platform to turn this data into digital twins seamlessly and transparently and to provide insights. And as Patrick mentioned before, we are integrating our platform and more specifically the Cesium technology in all of our products. Let me show you how Cesium comes to life in Bentley Infrastructure Cloud Connect. So, imagine managing a project in Barcelona, where I was based up to a month ago, and advising another one in London, while at the same time managing a rail network across the continent. Your data lives everywhere. PDF documents, BIM models, inspection reports, IoT sensors, photogrammetry meshes, and it's rarely connected. With the new unified experience of Bentley Infrastructure Cloud Connect, you get to manage everything in one place. So it's a big change. And you get the full context from design to construction to operation, right? So I'm sure you'd like to see a demo. Let's start at the beginning. When you log in, this is your new home. This is a geospatial interface, a 3D geospatial interface powered by Cesium that lets you see the big picture. And when I say big picture, I mean big picture. The technology is ready for you to start building infrastructure projects on the moon or on Mars if you'd like to. I understand you might not be there yet, but it's possible, right? This is clear, high level, and you have the data always connected and up to date. You can see every project you're part of, every asset you own across cities, countries, and continents. And all the data is tied together by its real-world location. It's aligned by time, the time at which it was captured, the teams, the data types, everything is connected. And from a single map, you can zoom from a global portfolio view to the single detail of a structure with just one click. So forget switching apps or chasing links. Everything you need is right here, right in front of you. So as I've explained, with just one click, I can switch to a completely different project. So Patrick has highlighted a very interesting project of a data center. Let's go back there. See how am I going from the global portfolio view to the detail model view, from macro to micro in just an instant. Here, you can rotate the structure. You can measure distances. You can section it. You can identify components. You can even dive into the associated forms, mark up issues, or review clash detections. With Bentley Infrastructure Cloud Connect and its unified experience, you get the same interface, the same experience across all your projects. We've designed this for how infrastructure teams truly work. No matter your role or the data format that you need to bring in, Bentley Infrastructure Cloud Connect brings it all together. And with role-based scenes, you only see the tools and the data that is relevant to you. Now, on that note, we understand that not everybody needs to see the big picture or the geospatial canvas. When you're in the crunch of the project, you need your personal dashboard where you can access all of the information that is relevant to you in an instant. So right here, you will find everything that's been assigned to you across your active projects, form that needs your review, tasks that are awaiting your input, or issues that have been assigned to you. They are all in one place, so you can spend less time finding work and more time doing it. So with Bentley Infrastructure Cloud Connect, you get more than a unified experience. You get the full power of connection, because Connect brings together three things: a connected data environment that links project and asset data in context, a collaboration space that connects people and teams to move the projects forward, and then a unified experience that gives you the intuitive view of details, progress, and performance. You can drill into the project details, see your entire portfolio on one interactive 3D geospatial interface. And you can track your progress from a personal dashboard all in one place. Bentley Infrastructure Cloud is not just built for today. The data you create really compounds over time, across the life cycle. And powered by a geospatial view, it really delivers the true potential and value of digital twins. And you can think of that geospatial view as your digital twin of the world, where your project data and asset data is coming together. With that new interface, you can manage everything with one interface, one connection, and one infrastructure cloud. So, moving on, one of the key capabilities of Bentley Infrastructure Cloud is to manage collaboration and to orchestrate that collaboration around your engineering files and data. This is provided by the technology that is at the core of ProjectWise. And our teams have been working to make that technology even faster and to make it easier than ever for you to find the data you're looking for. And we're doing this with the help of artificial intelligence. With AI-powered search in ProjectWise, engineers can find what they need. And the results are contextually relevant to the work they are doing so that they can solve problems faster and more reliably than ever. Now, as Nicholas has highlighted before, every project has its own challenges, but there is no reason to start from a blank sheet of paper. Why do you want to start from scratch? Because with ProjectWise, you can harness what you already know, and you can tap into that knowledge to get more value from your data and expertise and your time. So here's how it works. We're going to talk about a smarter search. So say you need a document from a past project, and you're not sure what it's called, or who created it, or even where it's stored. With the redesigned ProjectWise interface that you can turn on as an optional experience in ProjectWise Explorer 2025, you can stop digging and you can start finding. The new AI-powered search understands what you mean, not just what you type. It works across project folders and data sources, which has been a long-awaited improvement that our users have been talking about. So just start typing what you're looking for. In this case, regulatory compliance, for instance, and just let this system do the rest. So we've searched for regulatory compliance, and in seconds, ProjectWise delivers results, based not just on what the file was named with, but the full content and the attributes of that document. Now, we can narrow it down a bit. So show me the PDF about erosion control requirements. And then the AI engine understands what you're looking for, and it's trimming down the research to find only the files that you're interested in. Now, ProjectWise has searched across multiple ProjectWise data sources to be able to deliver you this information as fast as possible. Finding documents is just the first step, though. You want to understand what is inside those documents. So simply prompt the system, can you summarize those top 3 files for me? There you go. AI is able to provide a clear, concise summary of what the documents contained. What are the outcomes? And making sure that you can find your information as fast as possible again. Now that we've found the document we were searching for, let's try to open it. Now, did you notice how quickly that file opened? This is a large file. This is an important thing because ProjectWise has been improved so that we leverage all the modern technologies offered by cloud solutions so that you can load these files up to 10 times faster. This is a major improvement for your teams as they get to download and upload those files all day long. That is the impact of AI-powered search in ProjectWise. It's fast, it's intelligent, and it helps you get right to the information you need without the guesswork. These capabilities will be available for early access later this month. And we are not stopping here, right? So we've talked about search inside ProjectWise Explorer, but this also extends to Bentley Infrastructure Cloud and Bentley Infrastructure Cloud Connect. With one search, you can access information across multiple forms, iModels, images, and documents, all from one unified interface. Whether you're viewing design data, you're tracking approvals, or looking at project info, the AI-enhanced search brings it all together. It's fast, it understands the context, and it fits the way you work. This is search reimagined, not just as a feature, but as a productivity boost for your teams to accelerate your entire workflow. Productivity isn't just about finding the right information. It's also about what you do with it. So, especially when it's time to produce and deliver your work, to share your deliverables, for engineers, that often means a lot of work to generate those drawing sets. And historically, you know, that process has been slow, manual. You have to gather sheets, you have to create PDFs, you have to start organizing them for production, and usually you do this at the end of the week under very tight deadlines. That's where our cloud-based renditioning service comes into play. Let me show you what it looks like. So, this is the web interface for our new web-based cloud PDF renditioning for ProjectWise, where an administrator can configure automated jobs that are triggered by events, like a change in a workflow state, for instance. So let's quickly configure a new automation here. Whenever an architectural discipline document is moved to a submitted for approval state, for instance, the system will automatically generate PDF renditions. Notice how the redesigned interface is fast and easy to use, and it still supports the existing rendition profiles that you used previously. Now, switching over to ProjectWise Explorer, there are a few files here that are ready to be changed to a different state in the workflow. We turn them into ready for approval. That was done quite quickly. And just like that, the new automation workflow has generated all of the PDFs for all your models and documents. It picks up the files, and it generates all of the deliverables without any manual step required. In addition to these automated jobs, you can still use ad hoc and scheduled PDF renditions. It supports them all. And because this is a cloud service, this system is able to scale. It can handle dozens, hundreds, or thousands of files and renditions in a fraction of what it used to take with the previous system. We know how important it is for your teams to stay productive. And as you've just seen, ProjectWise performance is a major focus for us to make sure you are even more productive than before. So, a lot of those performance improve the faster file transfer that I've mentioned before. Files are downloading and uploading up to 10 times faster, and on large projects, this is very important. Faster indexing, so that the documents that you put in ProjectWise and in Infrastructure Cloud Connect are becoming accessible and discoverable in seconds. And then faster renditions of large jobs, so that generating PDFs doesn't take hours when it's time to share your work. These are just a few of the ways ProjectWise 2025 is delivering real performance gains to help your teams work more efficiently. But that's just one part of the story again. Across Bentley Infrastructure Cloud and our open applications, we are making it easier to connect people and data so teams can collaborate more effectively and deliver better solutions and better outcomes. And AI is becoming a key part of that. You'll see it in our design tools, our workflows, and especially in OpenSite Plus. Our site design application built to take full advantage of this connected ecosystem. And to tell you more about that, please welcome on stage François Valois.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Good? Yeah? Everybody's awake? Great. It is truly an honor to be at this conference again this year. And as you might know, if you were in Vancouver, in my own country, I had the pleasure of introducing OpenSite Plus last year, our groundbreaking site civil product that is redefining how we can do site civil. OpenSite Plus is the first of a next generation of digital twin AI and AI power and fully connected to the infrastructure cloud. For OpenSite Plus, as you know, the goal is to deliver smarter, faster, and more collaborative design. We've been working with our first mover advantage and early adopter program members to really shape this next generation and OpenSite Plus. Let's hear from one of those users, VHB, on how they're putting this to work.
In my career, a lot of things have changed. Things that we're doing today would have felt very futuristic 20 years ago.
OpenSite Plus is going to open a lot of doors for us to move faster, get better answers, and really be better engineers.
With OpenSite Plus, I'm really excited about the earthwork optimization. It's the #1 expense on our site projects.
Having AI integrated into OpenSite Plus really lets us leverage the different tools so that we're able to ask questions to this assistant that lives in our plans. It really does give us a leg up on our competition.
With OpenSite Plus, our clients are going to see increased speed and hopefully reduce construction costs.
A 3D model tells a much better story than any 2D set of plans we can produce. By introducing ourselves with OpenSite Plus, it lets us move through the process faster.
The future of site design is fast, efficient, and optimized.
Wow, this was cool, right? Right? Yeah. Thank you so much, VHB, for being a trusted partner on that project and to sharing your story today. OpenSite Plus really helps to automate mundane tasks. That's a key thing. For example, the AI-driven annotation tool helps cut annotation time from days to minutes. We also added patent-pending detailed design capabilities, earthwork optimization, drainage design, and seamless integration of GIS, CAD, all of that in a connected workflow. My favorite part, however, is the Bentley Copilot, an infrastructure AI assistant that we're integrating in all of our products. Bentley Copilot is tailored to the needs of the engineering disciplines and infrastructure sectors, in this case for site civil. And what makes this AI trustworthy is that it understands the right context, as Nicholas said, site civil engineering. It is not a generic AI. It's designed to help you make decisions that actually make sense for infrastructure professionals. It can interrogate requirement documents, interrogate the model, make complex changes that would have taken a lot of steps previously. And all of that by talking to the Copilot. If you want to, you can also type. And because it understands site civil and the engineering context, Bentley Copilot knows how to meet the expectations of the infrastructure professional. Enough talking, right? Read me enough. So let us show you, live from the iLab, right over there at this conference, my good friend Ian Rosen. Ian, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Francois. All good.
All right. Can you show us the Copilot in action?
Absolutely. So let's examine this complex data center stormwater capacity. What's the total volume capacity of the ponds on this site? So the LLM interprets my voice or textual input and returns the results. Okay, so we've got 3 million cubic. So let's have a look at what the runoff we need here is. Calculate runoff for this 480-acre site for a 4-inch per hour storm and a C value of 0.9. It's been a while since I've calculated hydraulics, but the LLM has been trained on Hasted engine, and it understands those hydraulics and knows the formula, so I don't have to remember them. Okay, so it's saying we need 6 million cubic feet, but that's double what we had before. So let's adjust for the permeability of the site. Recalculate pond volume for 40% runoff has C of 0.9 and 60 has a C of 0.35. So we're making some general assumptions here about the permeability on the site, and we can always adjust those later on. But the AI has returned back, okay, we need 4 million cubic feet now. So We've got 3 ponds, so that's an easy calculation. Copy pond P01, 400 feet south. So the LLM needs some input. Oh, it hasn't liked the coordinates there. Let's try that again. Copy pond P01, 400 feet south. So it's sending the information to the modeling agent, and it doesn't like that pond.
It doesn't like your accent.
It doesn't like my accent. It's not recognizing that. So yeah, it thinks I'm
much better with French Canadian.
Hopefully that gives you some idea, though, Francois, of how AI can help the engineering process.
Thanks, Ian. That was good. Live demos, right? You never know. But we... While you're at the conference, please go check it out for yourself. Hopefully it understands your accent. And we'll all have one, apparently. It is truly your chance to geek out with Ian, but other people that are there as well, to try our latest tool, latest technology. So you can go there, try the Copilot, and some of our latest innovations. Those are all amazing. I don't know if you've been there yet, but this is unbelievable. You'll get a real feel of what's possible. It's open to you all attendees, so I encourage you to stop by, try things out, and really ask questions. There's a lot to discover. Now back to OpenSite Plus. It shows what's possible when AI is built for real design workflows. What Ian was talking about was quite complex, ratios, all that stuff. I have no idea what he's talking about. And at the beginning, it is just the beginning of these products. We're growing more of those, of these AI native, working together in this data-centric way. And I'm super glad to announce that starting today, and thank you, David Sellemeyer, that OpenSite Plus is moving to limited availability status for our selected accounts. It's cool, right? Yeah. Come on, I hope we try that. Yeah. So, and guess what? I'm just getting started. I have more to tell you, more fun announcement. The next announcement is really going to change the world for our next generation products, but for the electric world, actually. So it is my pleasure to introduce OpenUtilities Substation Plus, our brand new digital twin native, AI-driven, and fully connected design application for substations. Substation design is complex. It is multidiscipline, overlapping scopes, and under constant pressure to deliver and energize on time or faster, especially to support the AI data centers, like the project we're doing together. Traditional tools struggle to keep up. They're tough to learn and even tougher to scale, collaborate across teams. That's exactly why we built Substation Plus. It's cloud-based, scalable, and built for real-time collaboration across utilities and engineering disciplines. And AI and Copilot features have been built in from day one. And teams can move faster, make smarter decisions, and stay in sync from concept to construction, all integrated. So let me show you Substation Plus in action and how it's changing the game. First thing we'll look at is real-time collaboration. One of our biggest frustrations in substation design is how hard it is to work together. Right now, engineers focus on different tasks in separate files, or worse, take turns in the same one, like in the 90s. Document and revision management are manual, cumbersome, leading to missed detail, less time, and a rework during construction. With Substation Plus, multiple users can work at the same time in the same model. Behind me, you can see 2 designers, each working in their own local branch with no need to be constantly connected. When you're ready, you just sink in. It's a breeze. It goes in super easily. Substation Plus will automatically detect conflicts if they exist, and everyone will be up to date with no back and forth, optimizing the design process, eliminating surprises later on. So very powerful. And we can see right now, we see with these red circle, what's happening, those different designers syncing their models, coming all together. Substation Plus, well, the next thing we want to look at is smarter modeling. Substation Plus is not only graphic drafting either. It understands the logic behind the components in the models. So when you place a breaker, it's going to figure out the compatible parts, and check clearances, flag any issues, assign part numbers, and it pulls the manufacturer data, all linked to the object, not just a drawing. Very powerful. It helps experienced users move faster and give new designers a head start. And of course, we've implemented the Bentley Copilot, my favorite part, right? And Teller for the Substation designer. Here you can see that we're validating a design. And this Copilot is really built with purpose. It's built for the infrastructure professional. No need to dig through multiple files and go over multiple things, because the Copilot understands the context, understands the design capabilities, and provide good help on that. Next thing is connected delivery. So all those folks working together, Substation really excels at that. In most projects, deliverables today are a set of PDF files, plans, models if you're lucky. And every delivery is introducing risk. What's current, what's final, who changed what? Instead of doing this and ending Substation static files, Substation users use structured work orders. They assign tasks, sync updates, and merge changes back into the project super easily. So we understand the history and why things have changed. It is simply a cleaner, more connected way to deliver design. The same model can then flow forward into construction and operations, enriched with asset data and ready for the life cycle ahead. Substation Plus bring it all together with real-time collaboration, smart modeling, and connected delivery. We're developing Substation Plus with multiple key accounts that you can see behind me. I want to thank every single one of them for their participation and being engaged with us on this. So thank you so much. I'm also announcing today that Substation Plus is part of our early access program right now. So if you're interested, you can contact your Bentley account managers to do so. OK, how's everyone doing? Right? Good? Right? This was a lot. Because I know what some of you are thinking. What about existing tools, Francois, right? What about existing tools? What have you been doing about those? You're building brand new stuff, great. Don't worry, we've got you covered. Not only are we developing brand new applications, but we're also empowering existing ones with AI. Let me show you how we've extended OpenRoads Designer. Whether you're working on local roads or massive highway corridors, we're excited to introduce AI-driven enhancement that will help you work faster, smarter, and create more impactful design. The first innovation we're unveiling is AI Label Optimizer. This tool tackles one of the most time-consuming parts of the workflow of the design process, annotating drawing, making your workflow much, much faster. We've also injected the Bentley Copilot because we learned from the OpenSite Plus that people love it. And so we extended these open applications, starting with OpenRoads. With Bentley Copilot, you can ask questions about how to accomplish tasks, consult relevant documents, and even modify a model, all within the application. The AI-powered label optimizer will be available in OpenRoads Designer, but also OpenRail, in November, next month. So I hope my development team hears me now, because they better deliver. And then Bentley Copilot will be coming in both products early next year. So we look forward to see how these advancements will empower your project and drive the future of infrastructure design. So as you can tell, my team and I have been very busy at work building our next generation of digital twin native, AI-driven, and connected applications. But we've also been working super hard to enhance our existing application with AI capabilities. So thank you very much, and have a great conference. I hope to see you around.
Merci, François. It's fantastic to see how much progress we've been doing by deploying Bentley Copilot through our portfolio of existing applications, and the progress we're making in delivering our next generation of AI-native applications. Designing right the first time, with the full context in hand, sets the stage for success. But construction is where plan meets reality, and where conditions change constantly, generating vast amounts of data. It's a natural place for AI to help in helping teams make sense of the data and keep projects on track. So to demonstrate how context and AI are transforming construction management, please welcome Marion to the stage.
Thank you, Nicholas. Hi, everyone. Happy YII. Well, I have to say, these are some tough acts to follow. But luckily, I made sure to come prepared with a few surprises of my own. So we've seen some really exciting things today. And I plan to keep that momentum going, because now we're going to dive into what's next for construction and AI. But to start off, I want to ask you all to take a moment with me and to imagine a very real-world scenario. Today, all across the construction industry, contractors are taking on $100 million projects, only to watch millions and millions disappear to delays, rework, and inefficiencies. I'm seeing the head nods. And really, there are three core problems that drive this. First, plans break down in the field. Over 98% of mega projects go over budget. Second, data is siloed. Teams are spending up to 30% of their time searching for information. And third, schedules fall behind. Over 40% of construction projects face time overruns. But the truth is, and you all know this, it's that these statistics are not a surprise. But they do serve as a very real reminder of the inefficiencies that slow our industry down. And when we look at all of this and we add it all up together, it all adds up to one thing: project risk. But what if we could go even further to reduce that risk? Not just with digital tools, but by reimagining how projects are delivered. Well, to build on that, we recently hosted a hackathon at our London office, where we invited a group of users, and we asked for their help to explore new ways to address these construction challenges. Let's take a look at how it went.
We are here at this hackathon to make sure we have a rapid prototyping of ideas from users. We know how to build software, but the software isn't for us. The teams are working on solving the biggest user challenges that we've identified. First is interoperability. Second one is visualization, allowing people to see in 4D. The third one is all about making it a clean user interface. Finally, bringing generative AI capabilities to remove all those repetitive tasks and de-risk projects.
To be frank, Bentley is some of the only folks doing this. I mean, there's not a lot of other construction software vendors or companies that are inviting industry folks to come solve problems. It says a lot about Bentley that you guys are really investing in the end user experience and wanting to get feedback from the folks using the product to make the product better. AI is going to be able to eliminate some of the mundane tasks, and it's going to simplify things for everybody. It's going to get us to where we need to get to faster.
I think 4D planning will be the first step in construction in the future, rather than the thing you develop to help you along the way. It will be where all of the other construction processes feed into it. I think the role of AI in the civil engineering space is to break down the technical language and make it way more layman's terms and make sure everyone is on the same page when they're talking about exactly what they want to happen.
The way SYNCHRO Plus fits into the overall Bentley vision for AI is similar to OpenSite Plus. We will re-platform our existing product on iTwin native architecture, which means it's going to be able to talk to our Bentley infrastructure cloud, but also it will allow us to get to the next generation of AI by helping us remove repetitive tasks for non-technical specialists. SYNCHRO Plus will allow us to use AI to lower the barrier to entry, allow our existing users to have a better experience, but also bring the new generation into the use of our tools and technology.
Cool, right? So I have to tell you, I was at our hackathon, if you saw my 2-second cameo, and it was genuinely such an amazing event. It was exciting and inspiring and full of energy. And really, it made one thing very, very clear. It reinforced what we've been working toward, which is that the 4D community needs a simpler and more collaborative way to work. Well, we've not just been listening. We've been actively leading that change. And today, I could not be more excited to be able to officially announce SYNCHRO Plus. SYNCHRO Plus isn't just an upgrade of SYNCHRO. It's a complete reimagining of how construction teams plan and deliver work. And SYNCHRO Plus is built on 3 very powerful ideas. A data-centric platform that connects data through relationships, an intuitive interface that is built for construction teams, not software experts, and AI automation that cuts out repetitive tasks while maintaining human judgment where it matters most. And unlike traditional 4D tools that rely on file-heavy workflows, SYNCHRO Plus is purpose-built to be flexible, collaborative, and ready for the pace of modern infrastructure projects. All right, tell me YII. Have I managed to build up a little bit of suspense? Yeah? All right, let's take a look. We'll start with the SYNCHRO Plus interface. It has been redesigned to offer a more intuitive and user-friendly experience. In just a few clicks, I can turn my design models into construction models and upload a project schedule. And if you notice, I'm not dealing with files or fighting technical settings here. I'm working directly with construction concepts. So activities, areas, and components. With a simpler interface, powerful 4D capabilities can now feel effortless to use, making them more accessible and valuable to the broader project team. It's everything that I need, all in one place. Next, let's check out how AI automation helps eliminate manual and time-consuming work. Within SYNCHRO Plus, Bentley Copilot is now my virtual assistant, helping me get my tasks done faster. In the chat box, I can define what it is that I need or what it is that I'm looking to do. In my model, it helps me filter by predefined work areas, suggests activity mappings to elements, and presents everything visually for review and approval. So what's happening is I'm guiding the process, and AI is speeding it up. And it's amazing, because what used to take hours and hours of manual work can now be done in just minutes. Next, we're going to take a look at how SYNCHRO Plus connects with iTwin Engage. So in this immersive environment, I'm still working with my same 4D model. But now I can navigate and explore the model and construction sequence in a way that feels a little bit more natural and engaging. I can enhance scenes in all kinds of different ways. I can adjust the sunlight based on the time of day. I can add in trees and other nature elements. And I can even drop in custom objects and characters. And what this does is that it adds depth and realism, and it makes my visual experience even more compelling. So I'm no longer just working in a model, I'm bringing my 4D plan to life. Now, some of you may have noticed a little bit of a curious detail in that last demo, and I want to confirm that yes, we were in fact landscaping in the middle of the desert. But don't worry, those are drought-resistant trees. I checked. Come on. We're ambitious, but we're not crazy. But that's exactly the point. We're not just showing you what's possible. We're giving you the tools to create and shape your own reality, whatever that may look like. And that's what SYNCHRO Plus is about. It's about how we're elevating construction planning. And we're doing that by making it more intuitive, intelligent, and immersive. And if you know us, you know we're just getting started. because we're also working on a robust equipment library of high-fidelity visuals that simulate real site conditions, as well as predictive AI that will be able to suggest and recommend easier and smarter workflows. And of course, open APIs and seamless interoperability to connect all of your data effortlessly. The bottom line is, SYNCHRO Plus is a game changer because it builds on what teams already trust and will help further reduce project risk, enable smarter planning, and support safer delivery. So, what comes next? Our early access program opens this December to a select group of users, with general availability coming in 2026. If you'd like to know more, please come find us at YII or reach out to us. But we genuinely hope that you're as excited as we are, because we can't wait to see what you build with SYNCHRO Plus. All right, now it's time to take a look at everything that we've seen today and how it all comes together. Please help me in welcoming Julien back to the stage.
Thank you, Marian. Wow, that was an impressive demo. You know, I spend a lot of time thinking about how our technology can make a difference for the people that are designing, constructing, and operating infrastructure. Because indeed, technology is only useful, and it only matters if it helps our users work smarter, collaborate more seamlessly, and make better decisions to accelerate every stage of a project. Now, many of the new capabilities that we've seen here today are part of a bigger picture, one that brings your data and context together to empower artificial intelligence, one that connects, and the pun is intended, your tools and teams together to deliver better outcomes. So before Nicholas comes back up here and shares his final thoughts, I'd like us to take a moment to recap how everything we've seen today is coming closer together. Now, if we rewind a bit to the beginning of the keynote, Nicholas talked about the context. We talked about the environment context. I think we've seen how we have improved our platform with the cesium technology to bring all of the geospatial context in front of our users in their design session, in their tools, whether it's using reality capture data turned into point clouds or photogrammetry, but also with innovative technologies such as 3D Gaussian splats. We've seen how AI can help you analyze this contextual data at scale to provide you with all the insights with AI detectors provided by Bentley or that you can train on your own. And then having all of that information come into the hands of your engineers so that they can work on brownfield projects with all the visibility about what's happening there. And as Patrick mentioned, we are integrating that technology, that platform, inside our applications. We've seen MicroStation 2025 as the first example of this. And you can expect a rapid sequence of other open applications starting to integrate this contextual environment in the design sessions. Now, we've also seen that this geospatial technology, the platform technology, is powering Bentley Infrastructure Cloud Connect. And this common data foundation layer is so important to bring all of those tools, all of that portfolio together so that they can truly deliver the value and the power of digital twins. Now, managing the contextual data is important, but as Nicholas explained, we also need to have the project context, understanding the requirements, all of the documents that are in flight in the middle of a project. Now, ProjectWise and all the performance improvements that have been brought to it are unlocking a new level of productivity there. And I hope you realize the impact of what we've shown today with AI and Earth Search in ProjectWise, because that literally means that ProjectWise is able to analyze and understand all of the data that is in your documents, all your data sources from past projects, and bring this up to life in your existing projects so that your engineers have access to that information with copilots within the design applications or with the unified federated search within Bentley Infrastructure Cloud. This is the common data foundation that our engineering applications, our AI models will be able to tap into. And I think this is very well illustrated today with the new generation of products that we've been showing. We've shown OpenSite Plus, SYNCHRO Plus, Substation Plus. And i2 Engage that was just mentioned is also a new generation application. Those applications are digital twin native. What does that mean? Well, I want you to think of them as different tools that are providing different functions but working on a common data stream. The data stream is uninterrupted. It is stored and managed by Bentley Infrastructure Cloud Connect, and the tools are helping you do what you need to do with that data, and it's getting continuously enriched, and there's no data silo and others where data is lost. Now, when that data foundation becomes available to those applications, you can start unlocking the power of AI. And we've seen that being applied to that next generation of application, but also in the existing products. You've seen OpenRoads, and Françoise mentioned that this is going to come to a lot more products very soon. Having agents inside those applications that can understand the specificities of those applications, whether they're working on water disciplines, power transmission disciplines, or laying out the design of a site. And combining this with your project context, the environment context, and providing the big picture to AI so that it can provide the recommendation for your users to be able to deliver all of that value that is yet to be untapped, right? So I think this is a truly pivotal moment indeed for infrastructure. I'm very proud and happy to be able to release all of those new capabilities. And we have a lot more to be done over the next few years. So I hope to see you again next year and to share even more of those product advancements with both new generation applications and existing applications, and even more AI power improvement and power productivity to your teams. Thank you so much. And Nicholas?
Are you ready to close this out? Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julien. Yeah. Now, and thank you to everyone who helped bring all of those innovations to life. They are remarkable, and I know some of them were very hard problems to solve. Now, what this past year has made abundantly clear, from so many Going Digital Awards submissions showcasing AI in groundbreaking ways, to the AI capabilities we continue to deliver across our portfolio, is this: an end-to-end digital thread infused with AI at key moments is moving from vision to reality. Now, stepping back, it's clear we are at the threshold of a generational shift in infrastructure. Just as CAD and 3D modeling transformed engineering decades ago, AI is redefining how the next generation of infrastructure professionals will work. And this transformation goes beyond any single product or company. It's about our industry rising to meet the challenges of the 21st century. With these new capabilities, we have the opportunity to break the iron triangle of time, cost, and quality. By making our existing talent more productive and transforming how we work, we can close the capacity gap. And by fully leveraging the full power of AI, grounded in rich infrastructure context and engineering logic, we can make optimized decisions to deliver and maintain better and more resilient infrastructure. The human impact is profound. Bridges and roads where issues are detected automatically before they become critical. Transit systems and utilities delivered faster in years, not decades, through smarter planning and coordination. Infrastructure that's not only well-designed, but continuously optimized in operation through its digital twin. This is about improving quality of life, enabling communities to get the infrastructure they need when they need it with less waste and disruption. This new era is also about inspiring the next generation of infrastructure professionals. They're digital twin natives. They're curious, they're creative, and ready to take on big challenges. They will expect AI and automation to be part of their toolkit. It's on us to give them an industry that feels as modern and fast-moving as any other. One where they can apply their talent and imagination to build a better world. With the creativity of the next generation of infrastructure professionals and the power of AI, let's seize this moment and shape the future of infrastructure together. Thank you.